Okay, so these videos are going to be for people who haven't taken any entheogens before. Just to let you know, in the lower doses, what you can expect. So it's been about an hour and a half since I took 2 grams, a bit cheap, and these mushrooms were about 3 years old, and I've experienced in the past that they lose their potency, and you're supposed to take them on an empty stomach for full effect. And normally when I take high doses like 4.5 grams, they start to really come on after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then kick in at an hour and a half, and last for about 3 hours, and then tapers off. But I drank a bottle of beer, and I had a decent teaspoon of kratom, and I felt those effects. And I ate breakfast this morning, which I don't usually do, and up until about 20 minutes ago, I was thinking, maybe they're old, but I don't feel anything over and above kratom and beer. But then it's slowly starting to creep in, and I have the propensity just to get like that, pleasantly blissed out, kind of like drunk but not delirious. And you can slip into a wonderful meditation at any time, but if you keep vital, then you can stave that off. And what you see is everything moving. You just notice everything moving. Can you feel everything moving? There's an aura, there is a sentience, there's a communication, and everything moves in its own way. And the trees all move individually, and the grasses all move individually, and everything is saying hello. And if I was over there in that field of buttercups, then they would all be smiling at me and joyous to be alive, and joyous that I'm actually looking at them and appreciating them. And so common sense would say that that's just your mind. Well, I would say everything is mind. So when these people say, oh, it's all drugs in the mind, everything's all drugs in the mind. You know, cortisol, serotonin, neurotransmitters, it's all drugs in the mind, people. And so if we have some drugs that, give us a little bit of something different in the mind, then it doesn't mean to say that it's no more real than all the rest of the illusion. And so, around here it's wonderful because there's nobody around. And it's just green. And the birds are in full song all around. And the sun, God, is blessing me and the world. And so I'm walking up here because there's a pond up here. And I came here a couple of weeks ago, and the pond was flooded, and all the little lilies had been drowned, and all the dragonflies and mayflies weren't there, and nothing much was going on. So that's going to have changed now, and there'll be more hens and coots and different sorts of birds, warblers and things like that. So we're going to go and see those. But one thing that the shrooms does, you see the lowness of my voice, the calmness. Under normal circumstances, I'm more elevated and raised up and much more assertive. But now I'm more chilled out. So that's one of the things that is a bonus. And on here we have lots of deformed shaped. This is like it's a variety of damson tree, and it may in actual fact be a damson tree, but other damson family are blackthorns, and those little purple berries that I was picking last year, and they're very bitter unless you freeze them, and then when you freeze them they lose their bitterness, but because of the tiny amount of flesh around the large stone, it's almost purposeless to endeavour to do that. But I did it just for the fun of it, just to know how my ancestors were eating, what the highlight of their evening meal was. A few of those crappy damsons. And so yeah, it's quite easy to get out of the chilledness, because this is only a low dose. Under normal circumstances 2 grams would give more, but because they're 3 years old, then I don't know what the difference is, but from what I remember, you go in more and you see more movement. You see things shifting, when they're not actually shifting. Albeit the world is always shifting around. When you look closely at things, you see everything breathing. Well, that's not happening as yet on this dose. And you see, look, the difference is here. If I walk on this, that's taking me out of the kingdom of God, man. I'm telling you, it's taking me into Crunch World, out of the parameters and realms of the kingdom of God. So what do I have to do? I have to step on the grass and let tiptoe like Jim Carrey in The Mask when he's trying to tiptoe past the landlady's room. Yeah. And then she comes out with a shotgun. And he's, wearing the mask, and he jumps out the window and becomes roadkill. What a wonderful film that is. Speaking about the masks that we wear, the personas. Incredible, wonderful film. Oh my goodness, so it's getting all boggy here now, and I'm going to get soaking, soggy, bloody sandals. And I don't want that today. It's going to take me out of the kingdom of God, I swear. Look how easy it is to get extricated from the kingdom of God, people. If the world isn't in a high state of perfection, we're instantly out of the kingdom of God. And that's literally how it is. As soon as we start to deal with things that the ego finds objectionable, we exit the kingdom of God. So back there, you saw that I was edging towards the kingdom of God, right? In the beautiful state of oneness and connectedness with nature, and the ego had been abated, but now all of a sudden crunchy stones started twisting melon, and now all this boggy shit is going to be spoiling my day, because I don't want squishy toes in my sandals caked with shite. No, I don't want that taking me out of the kingdom of God. How dare it? Now it's kind of like, how am I going to get around this? It's quite a large expanse. Oh my God, may the force be with me. May the force be with... No, it's too boggy, I can see it, it's all boggy down there. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double back. I'm not standing for this. I'm not allowing that demon to take me out of the kingdom of God. And I'm gonna go up here, and then I'm gonna walk along the top. And okay, so I'm going to miss the pond, but at least I'll be back in heaven. So you see what happened there, people? When we take certain entheogens, we don't even have to be entheogens. They can just be anything that affects our state of consciousness. But if we are the variety of person who then observes our new states of consciousness, then we can remark on them, we can comment on them, we can observe them and speak and write about them. And people find that mildly interesting. If they don't do it, and if they do it, they go, yeah, that's what I thought, but nobody ever says anything like that. And so, I'm getting my heart ticking now, and they're going to go through here. Back in the kingdom of God. See that? A breath of inspiration. Foliage as far as the eye can see in this tiny little wood. And the birds talking to one another. And me buzzing, I'm buzzing. Still got the effect of the kratom and the one bottle of beer that I've consumed. And now the shrooms are kicking in as well. So, if anybody says to me, awake and brave, please tell us, how do we enter into this kingdom of God that Jesus so spake about? And I'll say, get yourself a bottle of Newcastle Brown, right? A spoon of kratom, and 2 grams of naughty shrooms. Then you've been in the kingdom of heaven. I wonder if Jesus ever told his disciples that. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Because Moses knew all about that stuff. All those other dudes, they all knew about it. Of course they did. They knew about it, vastly even more than we know about it. Because our stuff would have been passed around like wildfire. And, of course, the priests in the tabernacles in the Bible, it was said that white plumes of smoke was always emitted from them. Of course it was. On the old wacky-backy, of course they were. If they weren't smoking the old wacky-backy, they were smoking DMT. I'm telling you, from a man who knows. I know where they were at. And in my book, The Spiritual Bible, the world's first spiritual Bible, I speak about such things. With the wisdom akin to that of Jesus. I'm telling you people, you'll find the wisdom akin to that of Jesus in my Bible. Only difference is, my Bible tells you exactly how to enter into the kingdom of God through many realms. You can enter through meditation, you can enter through intense exercise, you can enter via entheogens, you can enter through supernatural experiences, you can enter many ways, and you can just enter through breathing. I'm telling you people, you get into these realms of ecstasy, of unparalleled bliss. Now this path is taking me right back to where I've been before. I'm slipping out of the kingdom of God, people. I'm telling you, I'm slipping out of that kingdom already. Now I've got to walk all the way back down here just to go back up there again. I get tired of this kingdom of God place. It's so unpredictable. You 1 minute you're in it, the next minute you're out of it. How can we stay in it forever? Not possible, you see, until you die. And then maybe we're in it forever. Wow. Okay, maybe I can go up the middle here. Oop. Looks like I might be able to. Will I or won't I be able to? there's a little bit of a path that someone tentatively has paved, and so I'm gonna take it. And so this takes me up to the promontory. You see, you're finding these all over the place, these vape machines. People just discarding them everywhere. The human being. Right. Okay. Might as well just keep the film rolling now. Because you like to see all that shit, don't you? It's cool, that shit, innit? That's what I thought. So we're going to go up to the top. And up the top here is a quarry. And this quarry has been in operation about 200 years. And it's really quite cool to look right down into the bottom of it. So, now my legs are aching, and my heart's beating, and my brow is sweating. I feel I'm slipping out of the kingdom of God, to be fair, people. I feel like I'm slipping back into the human being, and how we have to labour and suffer on our mini sojourns here on planet suffrage. Oh yes. So I'm going to head up top there because you get the best vantage. I'm getting deja vu now because I was here an hour and a half ago and I was just like lying on a rock waiting for the shrooms to kick in, but they never kicked in. And so I almost kicked off with the shrooms, but then I thought, chill baby, you got kratom and the beer, and you've got cosmic ecstasy, which you can just inhale. So there's the quarry. But over there, I'll film it when we're at the top there, on that prominent, but you can see right down in the bottom, and that's pretty cool. Oh wow, so this is really cool because we've got a vantage over the whole region. And this is called Croft Hill, and in the old times it was very significant, like all elevated prominence were, because it was a lookout position for invading forces, and if anybody saw invading forces then they would light a ready built fire, which would show the surrounding land peoples that the enemy was approaching, and then from the next highest promontory they'd light their beacon and then they would pass it on, you see, over the country, a bit like these pigeons that send messages, you know. Anyway, I think I'll end this video here and I'll start another one and see if I get any more symptoms from these entheogens. You see, as soon as I stop talking and I go back in, I'm in it again. It's beautiful and pleasant and dreamlike, and you just stare and look at things, and that's nice in itself. It's kind of like paying your respects and homage to the world, because you tend to look at it with a dropped jaw. No way. Wow. No way. And we're not even starting out on serious dosage, people. Wow, you take serious dosage, like Terence McKenna says, you're liable to die from astonishment. You really are.